Liverpool defender Virgil van Dijk is now the favourite to win the Ballon d'Or later on this year, which in the words of Joe before we started recording this, would break the monopoly, the dominance. Well, actually, it's kind of been broken from Luka Modric, but it would, we wouldn't see Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo winning it again after the year gap of not one of them winning it. And really, it feels right at this moment in time, Joe. Virgil van Dijk being the favourite, a Champions League winner. Okay, that's the only trophy he won this year, but it's the way he's portrayed this season, where he has had no player dribbling past him whatsoever. That is an actual genuine stat that everyone's been going on about on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, what have you. And Virgil van Dijk is proud to say that, apart from the streaker at the Champions League final who did get past him. So you'll have to try and find her and kill her to get rid of that problem. I believe she was a model.
It's a bit harsh,
Such
isn't
a
it?
shame. Well, I think it's the only way. It's the only way you could get through with it.
To be honest, I think he let her past. Just didn't want to deal with that. Had Champions League
He
finals
probably-
to worry about.
Yeah, there's other things in there. There's more important things, I guess. But Joe, you're a Liverpool fan. Van Dijk has been, in my eyes, no doubt one of the best defenders I've ever seen. Do you think he deserves the Ballon d'Or ahead of Messi, Ronaldo, and so on?
I'll give you two guesses to my answer.
Yes and
Go on.
yes.
Of course, I think he deserves it. Obviously, you've seen the big difference he's made to Liverpool since he's come into the club. £75 million. A lot of people made a few eyebrows at that price tag, but it's been obvious what the difference he's made in the space of a season at Liverpool, season and a half, because he come in the January. He improved Liverpool defensively last season straight away coming in. He was partnered with Lovren for the best part of, well, I say last season, I mean the 17-18 season, because obviously the 18-19 season's just finished. He partnered with Lovren for that part, and in this season he's just gone the 18-19 season. He partnered Joe Gomez for most of it, and he's brought the youngster forward in his ability as well. And you've seen the confidence and what he's learned so far being partnered with Van Dijk. And then obviously he's improved Matip as well, because Matip was third choice centre-back at the start of the season, struggling to get game time. And then he's been solid and started the Champions League final next to Van Dijk as well. I think you can see as well last year, okay, we lost the Champions League final, but he was instrumental in our run to the final last year. And then again this year, instrumental again in that. He's played a big part in Liverpool finishing second in the league, 1 point behind Manchester City. That pains me to say it again, because one defeat all season. He's had a big hand in that. Okay, you could argue there's a bit of luck in that because he's not been injured for the season, but his quality, he's added goals to his game as well. He got 6 goals, if memory serves me correctly, in all competitions.
And I think he got 9 assists, or it might have been the other way around, or something like that.
And 9 assists, yeah, because he's got 6 goals and 9 assists, so it shows the quality. Obviously, not dribbled past all season, kept Messi in his back pocket at Anfield. What more do you want?
Exactly.
Bringing home number 6 is the big one.
Exactly, and Conor, it's funny because they've compared Van Dijk to some of the best Premier League defenders of all time. There was a poll the other day on, I think it was BT Sport or something. Would you rather have Vidic of 2008, 2009, or would you have Van Dijk of 2018 and 2029? I don't see the point of the comparison, because either way I'd be happy with either of them. I don't understand the point. If I wouldn't want to pick, I'd go, just give me one, surprise me. Either way, I've got a great defender in my team. But with Van Dijk, the last defender to actually win it was Fabio Cannavaro, which was 2006. But that's because he, of course, won the World Cup as the captain. So, it's great for defenders, isn't it, Conor? Because, football is portrayed for the forwards. A lot of kids buy Messi shirts, Ronaldo shirts, Pogba shirts, you name it. People who are more demonstrating the goals, basically. But, with this, I think it's good to see a defender, being the favourite, or even a goalkeeper one day. But it's good for those defenders, reminding people that they are just as important.
Yeah, I think that's an important point to raise, especially when you do the comparison with Cannavaro. Back in 2006, he was one of the best defenders in the world, serving up for the Italy team and helping them win the World Cup. and I don't think Italy would have gone as far as the World Cup if it wasn't for his services. And I think the same applies for Virgil van Dijk this season at Liverpool. You know, you can look at Salah, Mane scoring these goals for Liverpool, but in all honesty, it's the defence that's really helped them progress so far in the Premier League this season and ultimately win the Champions League as well. You know, Alisson pulled out a fantastic performance in the final, but Virgil van Dijk's been serving the team throughout the competition as well as in the Premier League too, winning the PFA Player of the Year. So, you know, there's a lot more to it than you know, goal scoring these days. And when you can appreciate a defender at a time like this, you have to take it at the opportunity. So I definitely think Virgil van Dijk's the front runner right now, but we've still got over half of the year left until December, until the award is actually handed out. So there's still a lot of time for it to change.
It's funny because, you know, the likes of Messi, Ronaldo are still on the short list of favourites to win it. But, you know, I think for Ronaldo, him winning for Juventus, the league will help him out a little bit, the Nations League. But then you look at Messi, where Messi's, unless, you know, we've got Copa America coming up, in which Messi still hasn't actually won a major trophy for Argentina, unless you count the Olympic Games back in 08. But, you know, you look at the fact that Mo Salah and Sadio Mane are on the list. But I think as well, Raheem Sterling should get a lot of credit because he's had one hell of a season. He's one of those players that, you know, he's actually going to get better than this. And that to me demonstrates a world-class player, Joe. You know, I know he was a former Liverpool player, but you must have known he was going to become something rather special before he moved to Man City.
Yeah, well, obviously he had all the earmarks of a quality footballer. When he was at Liverpool, he's still developing at Liverpool, and that's why Manchester City brought him, because they knew his potential and he'd got a very high ceiling. Obviously, he's still yet to smash through that ceiling, but he's developing season upon season. What was it, 20 goals this season? Or around 20 goals?
Sounds about right.
This season, I was trying to remember if it was in the league or all competitions. And obviously, last season he didn't get as many as that. And obviously, he's winning the treble. Treble, because Community Shield, let's be honest. They
won the FA Cup and League Cup.
Yeah, FA Cup, League Cup, League. And then I was going to say quadruple, but I don't really count the Community Shield.
Technically, they did.
Technically, yes.
I can't wait to see you celebrate the UEFA Super Cup in August, mate.
That's a major trophy, technically speaking.
And the FIFA Club World Cup, which is going ahead.
I can't wait. And that's the thing with Virgil van Dijk. If he helps Liverpool win those trophies, I think that boosts his chances as well. But back on Raheem Sterling, obviously winning the treble, whatever you want to call it.
You say that, but the Ballon d'Or is normally on before the Club World Cup.
Yeah, it'll be on the Club World Cup.
Yeah, I was saying if Liverpool won the Community Shield and Super Cup, that would boost Van Dijk's chances, even though some people don't count them as major trophies, other people do. I don't know. It's one of those.
I don't.
I mean, you're saying if you're playing against a Chelsea team with no Eden Hazard. I mean, that's a story for another day. But you know, you may as well start saying when Liverpool win the UEFA Super Cup, not if. But that's a story.
I'm trying to be fair. Trying to be fair. But concern and the Community Shield, it's one of those where if you win it, you're happy. You don't win it, you're not really that bothered, as you said before, JB. But I want silverware. I just want silverware, and I want to pull myself up. Well, I want my club to pull ourselves away from your lot, because we're level on 45 according to Sky Sports.
Oh, here we go. Now, in all fairness, though, mate, you'll have a bus parade for when you win the Super Cup. I can imagine the morning after there'll be a bus parade of two people coming to watch them lift the Super Cup, and those two people will be the ones that are just walking past because they're on their way to work. So,
it'll be still bigger parade than what Man City had for their treble. But anyway.
Anyway,
the pettiness. Oh my goodness, the pettiness.
Well, they won the treble. They filled the streets. We won the European Cup, and you couldn't move.
No, the worst was reading about Man City saying, "Is this the best treble team since Man U?" Or like better than Man U. I'm thinking, hang on a minute, you didn't even win a European Cup.
We're getting a bit off topic here.
We are, I know, but I'm just annoyed by the fact that people are comparing them to 99. Save
it for another time. Then.
I'll try to.
But anyway, Raheem Sterling done very, 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 very well. He's in contention, as is Salah, Mane, and obviously you mentioned Messi and Ronaldo, the two goats.
Who were there?
Quote unquote. But
I think to wrap it up though, really, we should probably go ahead of who we think's going to win it. So Joe, obviously a lot can change between now and the end of the year, but really I feel like it all comes down to this season of what they've done, the season that's just gone. So do you think it's Van Dijk's for the taking?
He's our centre half. He's our number 4. We watch him defend and we watch him score. Of course, big Virgil van Dijk to win it for me.
And Conor, do you go against that, or are you going to agree with Joe Stanley?
Well, we've still got another 5 months of football left to play, and a lot can change in that 5 months. But Virgil van Dijk's the front runner at the moment. Messi has to win the Copa America in order to close that gap.
I'm gonna go for Virgil van Dijk, and I think it's good for football if someone like Van Dijk wins it this time, because Luka Modric winning it last year I thought was good. I mean, at the same time, I kind of disagreed. I don't know. Last year was a bit strange. I thought Kante or someone from the France team probably should have won it, or Varane. Technically, Varane should have probably won it because he won the Champions League and the World Cup in that summer. So it's a strange award. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it does count towards a player's success.